Hi, I am Salam Al Sabah. Thank you for coming to this presentation, in which I will present the applications of digital manufacturing to steel frames and the intermesh steel connection. This research is a result of collaboration between University College Dublin, Queen's University Belfast, and the University of Minnesota. This research is an attempt to improve the efficiency and productivity of the construction industry. It's a well-known fact, uh, may be presented better in this graph to the left, which shows the global labor productivity between 1995 and 2014 for the construction industry at the bottom, for the total economy in the middle, and for manufacturing at the top. So the difference is clear between the construction industry and manufacturing. To the right, this bar chart shows the compound annual growth rate of the construction industry being 1% and manufacturing, which is 3.6%. There is a 2.6% difference between the two. Of course, this low productivity is a result of complex reasons. One can always mention the disjointed nature of the industry, the lack of collaboration, the low margins, etc. But one main major possibly resulting in a lot of this difference is the slow introduction of innovation in the industry. For example, in the automotive industry, there was continuous progress in the introduction of automation, standardization, which resulted in hugely increased efficiency. And we have seen little of that in the construction industry. Steel construction is a promising direction in this drive to improve efficiency and productivity of the construction industry. There are good reasons for that. Single and multi-story buildings made of steel represent good proportion of the total construction. Also, the steel construction is made from standard pieces, standard beams, columns, made to standard sizes. And the processes, the fabrication assembly processes, are very well defined at this stage. So these are compelling reasons to push more in this direction. In a typical multi-story steel commercial building, the fabrication cost of the steel frame is somewhere between 30 and 40%. Erection cost would be 10-15% of that cost. So there is good proportion of the steel frame cost built in the fabrication and in the assembly of that frame. And to do that, we need work in the fabrication shops and we need work on site. The usual way of splitting this work is that in the fabrication shop all the cutting is made and most of the welding is done there, while on site there would be little additional welding because of difficulties of maintaining quality, and preferably the connections on site are made using standard bolts. These are certified components with certified performance, and at this stage, maybe now more than 100 years after the first standard for bolts was issued, we have bolts that fit our requirements, different types, different grades. And bolts have proven over the time that they are versatile, they can adapt to manufacturing tolerances, site tolerances, and the connections can be designed to perform as required. In fact, we can practically design any connection using bolts. One of the main issues in using bolts is that we need many of them in a typical connection. And the more rigid the connection is required, then we need more of these bolts. And installing the individual bolt and then torquing the bolts needs time. So it makes sense to try to reduce the use of bolts as much as possible on site. And this research is an attempt in this direction. There have been few attempts to create such a connection with that uses small number of bolts on site. One of them shown here is QuickOn by SCI. It was introduced in the early 2000s. It allows for just sliding the beam that has shoulder bolts into a T-bracket with notches. So assembly and disassembly was quite easy. However, the system was limited to simple connections with simple geometry, and maybe that's the reason why it's not used hugely. The other is still in use is Connextec connection. It can transfer bending moment and shear force. Its use is limited to square hollow section columns. It uses special collars forged and machined that are welded to the beams, and these will slide into special sleeves welded to the columns. Fabrication cost is expensive and it's limited to special fabrication and manufacturing centers. But on the other hand, assembly and disassembly is quite easy. Now the question is it possible to create a connection that uses a smaller number of bolts that can be manufactured easily at any fabrication shop? So the answer we are presenting now is the intermeshed steel connection. It uses precise cutting to shape the ends or edges of steel members to allow easy transfer of forces from one side to the other. And we have two types of these connections. One is called the front intermeshed steel connection, where the flange forces can be transferred by these fingers and grooves. And the other is called side intermeshed steel connection, where the flange forces are transferred from one flange to the other through fingers in the flange using side plates. And in order to optimize the design of these connections and to allow for fabrication and construction tolerances, we had many tests to test their manufacturing tolerances, assembly, disassembly, and structural performance. The intermeshed steel connection requires precise cutting to precise geometries. We explored three cutting technologies: plasma, laser, and water jet. All of them proved to be possible. The most common used by steel fabricators would be the plasma cutters. Many of them have these machines. So in order to assess the structural performance of the intermeshed steel connections, we carried out a numerical and physical testing. Initially, small-scale testing to test the front intermeshed steel connection. So the simple connection proved to be able to transfer around 20% of the yield force of the plates, and it had very little ductility. Ductility and resistance can be improved by making the connection more complex, as can be seen here on the load displacement curve to the right, but it comes at a cost of more complex arrangement. So at that stage we moved on from the front intermeshed steel connection to the side intermeshed steel connection. So for the side intermeshed steel connection, we carried out many tests, medium scale and large scale. So at the University of Minnesota we tested 4 beams, and these are shown here in the table below. W18, which is nearly 450 millimeters deep, and 21 inches deep, nearly 530 millimeters deep. So quite deep sections. And the connection location and the load application point was varied to allow for different ratios of shear force and moment combinations at the connection location. And the results, as can be seen here on the table to the right, was good. The connection performed as required, carried the required load, and with the required ductility. The failure mode was as expected. So the performance was quite good from these 4 tests carried out at University of Minnesota. Another test was made at the University College Dublin of a shorter beam than the beams tested at University of Minnesota. Again, plasma cutting was used using a different machine, but the cutting accuracy was not as good, and you can see here in these photos some of the deviations in geometry. The specified tolerance was 2 millimeters. What was achieved at worst location was 4 millimeters. So the geometry, the cutting geometry was not great. But I mean, this was a good opportunity to test the effect of such large deviation on the performance, structural performance. So in this slide, we see some of the results of the test carried out at UCD. The calculated yield load of the connection was 160 kilonewtons. And the connection performed as required in spite of the inaccuracy in manufacturing. Initial setting displacement was larger than what was seen previously in the test at Minnesota, but otherwise the connection performed well. And finally, we carried out tests for the assembly and disassembly of a small portal frame made with the intermeshed steel connection and with normal bolted connections, with and without geometric deviations replicating site construction tolerances. And the results indicated that there was a 35% improvement in assembly time relative to standard bolted connection, and 42% improvement in disassembly time. So as shown here are few variations of the connection. So instead of side plates for the side intermeshed steel connection, we can use angles. We can use larger plates rather than two individual plates on each side, or this connection can be used in columns. So as conclusions, we can say that the connection performed as required, and it can be manufactured using available technology, and the connection provides reasonable assembly and disassembly time savings compared to normal steel bolted connections. However, I mean, this is not the end of the research. There is plenty to do for the future. We need to assess the cost and assess the fatigue life, among other things. Finally, on behalf of the research team, I would like to acknowledge the financial support from the funding agencies and from Kearney Structural Steel Limited for their support during the course of this research. Finally, I would like to thank all the research team for their magnificent work during the last 5 years. And thanks again to you for coming to this presentation.